Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for joining me and thank you for your continued support. Just before I start, I just want to let you know that my second channel has now officially started. I've put a few videos on there so that there's something for people to watch. Just to give you a heads up on it, it's a very similar format to this channel, but I don't talk about disability or things like that, or pensions or mental health or anything like that, or benefits. This is about other things in the news which interest me and hopefully will interest you too. So some of it's political based, some of it isn't, but again I always try to give an impartial view on it. So if that's the sort of thing that appeals to you, I will leave a link even down in the description to this video so that you can take a look. As always, let me know if there's anything you want me to talk about, or if you have any feedback on the channel, please do let me know, because that's important so that I get the channel at the right pitch for people who want to watch it. So again, if you fancy that, go on over there and click on there and have a look at some of the videos I've done so far. So with a lot of the things that are going on at the moment in terms of the DWP, one of the comments I get quite a lot is, well, I'm on sick leave, or I've been on sickness benefits for a long time. I really don't think that I'm going to be able to get back into work because of various things that I'm struggling with, either mentally or physically. My long-term sickness, my disability, whatever it is going to make it very difficult for me to get back into the workplace. And it's an understandable problem, an understandable worry for people. And there's this article which I'm going to show you now, which was someone in particular who is talking about how he is concerned about the possibility of being forced back into work when he, from a mental point of view, he doesn't think he's going to be able to do it. Let's take a look at the article. Okay, so this is it. A former property manager says the biggest fear is going into the workplace after a decade off the sick leave. So he's a former property manager, has been out of work for nearly a decade, and says his biggest fear is going into the workplace again. He shared the experience of long-term sickness with ITV as the government announced an overhaul to the welfare system. Among the measures was to give people extra support who are unemployed due to long-term sickness. Now he is one of the long-term jobless, and he said his mental health issues means he feels unable to access the workplace despite his desire to contribute. He said the biggest thing I think for me is just the fear of even sort of going into the workplace again. I don't even think companies would want to employ me anyway. And this is something a lot of people have said. Would employers actually want to employ people with physical or mental or long-term sickness issues? Because it not only is it going to cost them extra money in terms of adaptations or whatever it might be, but also it means that they've got to put extra things in place to monitor and support that person, and they might not want to do that. Paul, who lives in Middleton in Teesside, County Durham, went into mental health crisis 8 years ago when his panic attacks escalated due to stress at work in London. I do feel my biggest barrier is myself in a way, because it's so difficult to know how I feel, he continued. Any day could be different. My mood can change within an hour. I have the similar thing myself. I can go from feeling fine and happy to feeling really depressed and shutting myself away in a room. So I think it's just those. It's sort of locked a combination of things, different things. The North East has the second largest rate of people not working in England behind Yorkshire and the Humber. And as part of the government's plans, 8,500 new mental health staff will be employed to support 140,000 patients, extra health workers to clear NHS backlogs, and 125 million Trailblazer scheme in 3 regions, Northeast, including the Northeast, that will join up health work and skill support. Paul said he welcomes the sentiment for change for the government, but warned more still needs to be done to tackle mental health issues to ready them from work. They need to do more at the root cause. If they can get people feeling better, then I believe people will be able to get back into work. That's what he said. Medics in the region are optimistic of focused improvements to the region's workforce. Dr. Neil O'Brien, a GP for any integrated care board, said it is challenging to get people back in, but in my experience as a GP, a lot of people want to get back to work. They see the benefit to their physical and mental health being out in employment, so there is definitely things we can do. We've got a track record actually of delivering schemes like this. We've got a pilot program in Durham and Tees Valley that actually managed to get 1,800 people back into work. Yes, possibility. but how many of those actually stayed? How many of them were able to continue into work for an extended period of time? Because as this man says, Paul, you know, it's not always about getting them into work, it's keeping them there. It's being able to support them and give them what they need to be able to stay in work. That is the biggest problem. And, you know, Keir Starmer again here talking about how he wants to put an end to the culture of blaming and shaming people who for too long haven't been able to get support they need to get back into work. But again, some people just cannot do it. Some people are unable to do it because of various different reasons. And I just think that this man here, Paul, is a case in point. You know, he is what a lot of people are thinking at the moment. He's thinking, well, okay, yeah, but I know my health doesn't stay the same. It fluctuates, it goes up and down. I have good days, I have bad days. How is an employer going to be able to cope with that? You know, that one day I might be fine, another day I might not. You know, how's the employer going to be able to deal with such uncertainty? If the person themselves doesn't know how they're going to feel on any particular day, how can they expect their employer to? So anyway, that's my thoughts. Let me know down in the comment section again what you think about this, and whether you can relate to this particular guy's experience. And I will see you next time.